I think what we've seen happen over the past couple of years is the agency community becoming increasingly involved with the startup community, particularly around consumer-facing applications and a lot of ad technology. And I think in Boston in particular, we have a very rich tradition in the agency world.
As a user, how do you find that line between offering real value and making it paranoid if you're watching?
Yeah, so it's the banks, right? So we partnered up with the banks. There's a couple other companies that are doing linkable offers, and they're going direct to the consumer, and it's mint like your registration. So if you go to cloverpatch.com right now, our beta opened up a week ago. And you go in and it's just very much like signing up for Mint. You put in your username and password to your online banking. Freaks me out, right? It's my company. That's why I said if we're going to launch this, we're going to launch with the banks. So now when the bank goes to you and says, hey, new card feature, you put in your email address and a password and you're registered then. It all stays back there. So that's the level that we're going out to market. Our beta is different, but we're going to market with the banks.
So can you give an example of one of the best apps that have been built using?
We're working with an entrepreneur that is looking to revolutionize the commercial real estate market, which is apparently this huge multi-billion-dollar opportunity. And what he's found is in the commercial real estate space, right from the agent level to the customer, to the property owner, the property manager, the service provider, the person who is actually leasing the property, and then the fund that manages the property, and then the LPs in the fund. You have this entire stack, and it's not transparent. The whole commercial real estate industry is not transparent. So what he's doing is he wants to completely change that. He's building first an iPad application to let every person in that market to be able to look at the real estate industry. And he raised $100,000 in seed funding, and he said he's going to allocate about $20K for expenses, $40K to build version 1 of the app, and $40K to build the back end. And so he came to Convey, and the app basically gives you a list based on regions, all the commercial real estate properties, and lets you look at them, look at photos, 360 view videos, etc., and also send you push notifications when things change in the property. And they built the entire backend for free in about 2 weeks. And he's, instead of paying $80,000 for version 1, he ended up paying $40,000, and now he's paying us $75 a month for us to maintain the backend for him. Significant value. And now he's adding social media capabilities, location tracking, etc.
So do you see it ultimately evolving, like, it seems like it has so many different kind of like avenues where you can go. Is it ultimately going more towards like a social networking? Is it more towards e-commerce? Is it more towards, like going after, you're already after all the big brands. Like how do you continue to evolve?
One of the things as entrepreneurs, all my partners and I have done multiple companies before. One of the things that's a challenge in our company is we keep finding this massive revenue opportunities, right? And so we have clearly a data plan, right? So we had to go a season with these brands to prove to them that the data we have on Crush actually predicts what sells, right? And so it did. And so now they really want that data for the next season, right? We knew that they were trying to get their products in the hands of the most influential people, right? So Nike SB has 9 million fans on their Facebook page. They have no idea who matters in that world, right? We know mathematically exactly who's the best predictor in every city, every school, every state, every country. So they have massive promo products that they're trying to get in the hands of them. And we've interestingly discovered that the users want to pay for those, and they're willing to pay a premium to be the first to have it.
How much have you found, or from a consumer perspective, how great do the offers have to be to give up that kind of information? I mean, the detailed information you're getting from consumers is unbelievable, so there must be a pretty large incentive for them to provide that.
So we anonymize all the data and only release figures in the aggregate, and we do take privacy very, very seriously. So it's not like we're telling brands specifically what you do individually, and in general, brands don't care about what one individual does. And we have found that the incentives are surprisingly low, a lot lower than we thought they'd be when we started out. It does depend on how longitudinal the study is and different things like that. But it's pretty cheap. And I think one of the things we found is that there's a core set of 10 to 15% of consumers that view what we do as creepy, like location data is just their private stuff. The majority of people, certainly 50%, 60%, don't view it as private or personal data. happy to share it if they get a coupon, if they get entry into a contest, things like that.